welcome back, folks, to episode 5349 of Fancy Tickles.
Feels like it.
It has been. And guess what? Back to the OG. It seems that Jolly Green's giant penis got infected with something. And now it's so swollen that he can't even carry it around. So he's decided to retire. No more injuries from the podcast.
He's got a recliner, but it's a special recliner where it's built.
It's a wheelbarrow. Those are called wheelbarrow gyms.
Well, it's a recliner, so he can still prop his legs up, but it's got like an extra, like an extendo that comes up that hoists that up there.
All right, yeah.
See what I'm getting at?
Yeah. So anyway, it's back to the gruesome twosome. Smaller screen.
New location.
Less people.
New location.
Yeah, we're back in my lair. I'm back in my dungeon with my stuff and my things. So that's kind of nice. That's actually pretty nice. What isn't very nice is all the shit going on in the world right now.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of fuckery going on.
Oh my fuckery! So somebody sent me a picture. It was a screenshot of a Joe Rogan post, and it showed the guy in the fucking buffalo head costume thing with the face paint and the horns and all that shit at the, like, C-SPAN.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can call it. I'm like, it's the building where C-SPAN happens. That's where he was at. And I'm like, that's not right. There's only boring old people with suits and pantsuits and shit that are in that space.
Right.
And so I just thought it was just like a fake meme thing, like something. And so
somebody put him in that picture.
So I sent somebody the picture and I was like, is this for real right now? Like, I didn't have the Facebook on or nothing, and I was like, is this real? Like, yeah, that's been going on all day. Like, this was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon before I was like, is this real?
Privy to it.
Oh, man, I couldn't believe it. So, as people storm the Capitol, and the thing I don't understand is, like, what we were talking about earlier, is why isn't there, like, 1,000 dead bodies, like, right at the kill perimeter? You know what I mean? Like, they always tell you, like, you can fuck off in a lot of places. Don't fuck off around, like, the Capitol and, like, the White House and all that kind of shit. Like, they always have, like, sniper dudes on the roof, and I'm sure they got, like, Rick and Morty tomahawk, laser, phaser, fucking plasmadones and shit. So I'm not really understanding how they got away with what they got away with, you know? Like, the hippie dude you showed me, like, thumbs up in the camera as he's carrying, the like, legit podium thing for speaking. It's like, how is this possible?
Check eBay in a couple days, folks, and see how much that's going for too. By the way, I have a feeling.
I have
a feeling like it's going.
No, dude, if you tried to eBay that, that's like.
Well, just putting his face on camera and like thumbs upping is already sealing.
Yeah, but there's so many dork ginger dudes with dreads that look just like that.
Yeah, but like again, we've said with the technology that they have that should have stopped everything that happened. They've got the technology to pinpoint who the fuck it is.
They were just like, fuck it. Let them tear shit up. And then, of course, the dude that either long-term plan, whatever we were talking about as well, the guy with the fucking headdress and the horns and the face paint and shit, that was Willie on The Simpsons.
7 days into the new year, guys, and we already have our first Simpson prediction coming true.
It's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah,
like a bunch of people were like, oh my god, can't wait for the year to get over. And even me, I was like, let's dump this motherfucker in the trash. You know, like round file that motherfucker, never talk about it again. And then 2021 is like, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Like, let's fucking do this 7 days
Catch my legs, I'm going to do a keg stand.
That's right. You know what else happened? So, at the same time that I didn't know this, what's today, Thursday?
Yeah.
So, today's Thursday. So, yesterday was Wednesday. Governor Inslee's mansion in our state of Washington was, like, raided on by a bunch of people with guns. And, like, they, like, took it over and they ushered him out of there, got him to a safe place. And then there was the guy on the camera that was like, you know, he's like, this is what it has come to, and this is what it'll be, or whatever. And he's talking about, you know, we're going to occupy this space until everything's fixed, or whatever. And obviously, I'm assuming he's talking also about making Trump president again somehow that way.
Well, and that was the other thing, too, that I heard, like, not to skip over what you're talking about now, but with the whole Trump thing and everybody storming the Capitol, like, prior to, I guess, earlier in the day or the day before, he'd given a speech about don't, like, fight for what we want. Like, let's make this happen. Don't settle for this shit. And, like, from what I understood, the way that, and again, it could just be that one side of the media saying it, but the way he had said it was like, this is what I want. You guys need to storm the Capitol. Like, let's make this let's do this our way and not let anybody tell us otherwise. But again, like I said, I didn't look super deep into it, and that's on my bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had heard something like that earlier today, but I just thought, well, if laws are laws, then he would get in trouble for inciting a riot. Like, I don't know if a public speaker, like a president, can even get charged with something like inciting a riot, just because his words already carry a lot of weight. Like, so you have to, like, either you get a grace period or like a grace in it, or you don't. Like, because...
Well, I think that's what everybody's looking at it as anyways. He's the president, so, like you said, his words hold so much weight that either people are going to be pissed off by his words or inspired by his words. And we've already seen the inspiration of what happened if that was the way it rolled.
What I don't understand is why, though. Like, what... So, you're storming the Capitol, and this lately, not to, like, split hairs or whatever, was the only riot or thing that has been done that actually did something. Meaning, by doing that, they didn't finish counting the electoral college or whatever to see who the president actually was and make it official or whatever. So they actually stopped something from happening. Now, all that the news has told me so far that has happened since then is that they just did it in like the middle of the night and just finished it or whatever. So they just postponed it 12 hours or whatever the bullshit is. But it really did. I mean, that is like the only thing it actually truly accomplished if that was their goal. Now, if that wasn't their goal and it was just coincidental, or they knew that action was going on, so they were going to riot, they would have to have known. They would have to have known that by causing some commotion, they would have to maintain the safety of the workers and the people that count votes and senators. I don't know. It seems weird, like the whole little baby coffin thing that they bring the electoral votes in, like a bunch of little baby coffins, and they just, like, why? I just don't get the pomp and circumstance. Like, it doesn't make it any or more or less official, or... Like, if we don't throw this big hurrah for whoever the president is, are they not going to do a good enough job? You know what I mean? It just seems like a job that would be well above, like, inaugurations and all this bullshit that gets filmed, and, no, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I've never been huge into politics, but this is, like, the most I've ever paid attention to politics. And I think it's just because it's been such a comical
situation. It's an involved politics. Like, we're, as citizens, seeing things in each city that... They're like, those aren't politics so much as they are history happening. Yeah. And then our politicians responding to it immediately, and everybody taking off the feeder that is television and media as whatever it is for truth. And then now that's become what politics are. Like, it's an immediate combat to whatever scenario is going on. Just like with the guns in the school or whatever, and then that state's the ones that gets rid of AR-15s, and that state gets rid of high-capacity magazines, and that, it's akin to that, where they're like accomplishing a goal by things happening. So now, like, the conspiracy-minded person in me goes, okay, so then what's next? They've already kind of started attacking at guns, and then for some reason it seemed like in the last couple years, or maybe even just last year, I guess maybe since coronavirus and everything popped off, that I haven't seen one thing about gun violence, like proposals and bills and referendums, whatever they're going to come up with to change gun laws or outlaw certain guns or whatever. That's completely come back off the table. And what I was going to get back to in a roundabout way is that, like, is there a reason they want us all to keep having guns for whatever's next? Right? So, like, if we're already an unarmed population, and then they say, you have to do whatever this thing is. Yeah. It's very unlikely that people are going to be able to come at them in much more than, like, sticks, rocks, gasoline bombs, you know what I mean? Things like that, not like a knife, whatever you can get a hold of that isn't a gun, or an illegal gun or whatever, which would make that a far less confrontational action. So either people could just be like, no, we're not going to do it, and just kind of roll over, or you purposefully kind of throw the fire on people, like, we're taking your guns now, and then you respond, and then that's their reason to then imply the law on you. Yeah. It's kind of like, don't you fucking walk away from me, and then that always makes you turn around. It's the same thing. If you really wanted me to walk the fuck away, you just shut your mouth, and now there's teeth on the ground. That's your bad, not mine. Right. But, yeah, I don't know, it's just, politics are fucking crazy.
Well, like you said, I think we haven't had any school shootings or anything like that, obviously because of COVID. But
well, that and it's just been so, like.
Can you just imagine if there was like a report of a school shooting, but the teacher was the mom?
The teacher was the mom?
Like, because everybody's being homeschooled right now.
Oh, yeah, so kid just shoots his teacher. Mom.
It's a horrible thought, and I apologize for putting that into the universe, but...
No, actually, we probably could, like, Google that right now, and that's a thing that's already happened.
Probably happened.
I'm sure. Like, pretty much, it's kind of weird how, like, once you have a big enough number of people in a group to, say, study, like, you're going to do a census on certain things, there are certain... Probably every question, no matter how complex or detailed in what's required to say yes to it, would still have somebody that could say yes.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been in a convertible with Eddie Murphy? And there's like 4 people on the planet still alive that could probably be like, yeah, I've been in a convertible with Eddie Murphy. And then you're like, I did cocaine with a transvestite with Eddie Murphy in a convertible. And, like, that guy died a couple years ago. You know what I mean? Like, but there was one person that
there was
could
at least
say
somebody
that.
in history that's done
So,
it,
yeah, so, like, statistics is what I'm getting back at, is always going to find one. There's always one for almost everything. You know, like, and so, yeah, if we look that up, for sure, 330 million, 80 million people in America, what is it? A lot.
Right. There's a bunch.
It is up there. It's a big, hundreds of millions of people.
It's a lot, folks.
It's a lot. And so the likelihood some kid hadn't homeschool shot his mommy, pretty low. Pretty low.
Yeah.
Actually, you could even make it a homeschool kid beat his mom to death with a cucumber. That's probably still going to pop up. That's how common things are. Isn't that weird? Like, the weirdest thing on your spectrum still has a thing way off weirder. Like I used to think I was like maybe like an overly sexualized person. Kind of not like a deviant in like a bad way, but like I just always like chasing women around. Always like partying. Always like, you know, like the act of fucking was always fun. Like make it as fun as possible, right? But there's people that make me blush. Like I just put my hands up and be like, oh no way.
Right.
Like I don't want to do the thing that you're doing. That seems dangerous and scary, and I don't even know what that has to do with sex.
Yeah. Like the people that, like, pull out knives and, like,
yeah, the cutty
like
things,
that.
or, like, yeah, you see people with, like, like a chick will have, like, all these bruises all over her butt. I don't think that's nice. Like, a handprint is one thing. You know, red that butt up, give it a good little couple pops. Yeah. But these are, like, somebody's, like, beating these broads.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, isn't that... should I call somebody? I think I should call somebody. She's like, nope, I like it.
I enjoy it.
Like, how?
Well, it was like they did the BDSM suck on Time Suck. Did you listen to that one?
Yes, I did.
That is... And he's like, I'm not trying to kink shame anybody, because I like, to an extent, some of the things that you like, but I know what my limit is, where I'll stop and where I'll go. Like, there's a lot of things that I haven't obviously tried. Yeah.
Like
believe it or not. Like, I'm new to the choking game.
New to the choking game. Not to the choking game, just new to it.
Yeah.
Isn't that rad?
Like, not being choked, but doing the choking?
No, fuck no.
Yeah.
Doms don't do that shit. Oh. Alpha, baby. Bring it up. Anyway.
Bring in the gorilla.
That's right. I'll fucking choke you.
Like... I mean, I've never done, like, the rope tying, and I don't understand how chicks get off on that either. Like, I get, like, the constricted thing.
I don't... Maybe. That might be part... I think it's, like a fantasy in the discomfort thing. I think, like, a lot of that rope tying... Like, some of it's stupid, where it's, like perfect wraps all the way from their elbow to their wrist, and they're like this, and it's like, there isn't even a way to fuck that chick. Like, she's set up in a way that doesn't even have anything sticking out.
Well, the ones that get me are, like, they do, like... and I get it's all, like, just pattern and, like, the precision of it.
Art, whatever. Yeah, their version
like, the ones where they're, like, their tits are tied off, and then, like, it's so wrapped around their butt. Well, like, there's those, but like then they also have to...
squeeze them all hard and make them look like old spent bananas, dude.
But then there's ways that you can hoist them up, and that's the big thing I think that they enjoy, too, because once you get those hands tied... and they can't do anything, you get the hands tied up behind their back or above their head, and then you can tie the legs apart
Yeah, but
and
you
then
can only hang that long, so long, dude.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of them wanting to try and test the limits.
That's what, like, time down to bed.
Yeah, no, I get
I've done that.
Like, I get the whole, like, handcuffing or, like, ropes to a bed or whatever.
Hey, we did it again. Somehow we were talking about politics and anarchy, and then all of a sudden it's sexy time stuff.
Yeah, it's, like I said, man, it's, and I hate to say it, but we've said it before. Everything goes back to sex to an extent.
Yeah.
And we always, somehow we'll bring it back to the politic game at the end.
We probably originally did the podcast, well, not me, but you, just to, like, get attention. Like, something to talk about.
I could care less if we got attention. I mean, it's...
Oh, you're full of...
Well, I like knowing that people know us and stuff like that. Like, that's cool to me.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing it to be like, hey, look at me, I'm doing a podcast.
Oh, no.
Like, if we get a fan base, then that's cool. But like we've said...
Isn't that a weird part of psychology? Like, how you want to do a podcast determines how crazy or not crazy you are?
Yeah.
Like, after everything got all shitty and I got single, I was like... I got a thing to talk about.
Yeah.
And you talk about having a show. I don't have to tell her how not successful it is. I just say I have a show.
Right.
You know, like, oh, I do this thing. You know, and that would seem like a thing to you.
Well, it's like anybody
you know what I mean?
anybody that asks, you know, how's the podcast going? Have you guys gotten any bigger? I go, the numbers have shown a little growth here and there.
Yeah.
Like, we've got 26 followers on YouTube now, subscribers.
Hot dog.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, close relatives and friends.
There's like 128 people that like the Fancy Tickles page on Facebook. There's 108 that are subscribed to the fan page, the group page. So we still have that thing out there, guys, where if we get the 128 to 150 and the 108 to 125, we got a free hoodie and a coffee mug to anybody out there that wants it. You just got to get us there.
No. You know what? No more. It's off the table. I wanted to give it by Christmas, and these people...
That's true.
These people just don't love us enough.
We'll shoot for a Valentine's Day. How's that?
Yeah, we're just doing this show for us anyway. You know what? You guys. Shame on you. Just have like a podcast for like an hour of just talking down to whoever's on the other side. Like,
I am not
disgusting.
mad. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, I called him disgusting. You said you were disappointed.
Yeah.
You know what I meant. We've had different childhoods.
The diss is there, but what's after is
you immoral little bastards. There's some... Okay, back to the sex statistic thing. There's somebody out there that likes what we're doing right now.
They're like, that
down
talked?
You fucking pig. Get on your belly. And they'd be like, ooh, like somebody just went, whoop, got just a little part of a boner.
Sean's giant penis is raised up without the footstool.
Oh, he doesn't listen to the show anymore.
Not anymore, no.
No, he's not on it, so he's not into it.
No, but like, so there's that. There's the people that like being treated like children.
Ah, that's so fucking weird, dude. Like, there's something off about that, because the only thing that I can think of is that you had, like, say you had an odd sexual experience as a child, but seemed to, like, harken back to it and like it, and or you like having experiences with children. I don't quite get, like, there's nothing to me, and, like, I'm not, like, kink shaming people, I just wish I understood it better.
Yeah.
Like, I super wish I understood why somebody would want to put on an adult diaper and put a binky in their mouth and pretend to be a baby. Like, that doesn't seem, like, sexual. Maybe I just don't get what, like, true sexual desire is. You know? Well, like, maybe my brain never developed past, like, oh, I'm gonna come. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like, I don't know, but, like, it just seems like when it has nothing to do with a sexual act, I don't understand. I still haven't. We've talked about this so many fucking times, and I've tried to look it up. Google's everybody's best friend. Not mine. It ain't trying to, like... It's not getting under the sheet. It ain't getting behind the curtain and being like, okay, really, bro, check it out. We just got all butt fucked when we were kids, and so it's what we're into. Like, or whatever. Like, just say that.
Well, but then if that's what you're into, then just do the butt fucking. Leave the baby diapers alone.
Maybe it's like I don't know, like, I like to be in a cool place. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not defending that because I think it's weird. But, like, a room with this light on, or, like, you know, mood light, couple candles. You know?
Yeah, I can get
the radio station, or some sexy, smooth music. Maybe some
Some Joe Pesci rap music.
Some Joe Pesci rap music. Dude, that was so fucking funny. Couldn't believe it. Folks, if you don't know this, Joe Pesci, the, like, 8 heads in a duffel bag Joe Pesci, motherfucker can sing. He's got pipes on him. What's the name of that album? The real one.
Little Joe Can Sing, I think.
Oh.
Like his actual album.
Yeah. Little Joe Can Sing. Yeah, something like
sure
that.
Sure can sing. Little Joe sure can sing.
And, yeah, that motherfucker's got, like if Frank Sinatra got scaled down, like he shrunk so his voice went up in the air, but it was still that same, that's exactly what's going on.
It's Marv singing an actual song is what it turns into.
That's awesome. Well, and then what was it, the rap?
Yeah. It's the snitches that'll get you. Or the bitches that'll get you. Is like his little hook on the song. But then he's also got like a Christmas song about what if Santa, like the 8 reindeer can't pull his sleigh. Is the one fucking
fat ass song. Yeah.
It's
fuck. Yeah. Look it up. It's Joe Pesci. Google it. I'd imagine in like 1 or 2 searches you will have found the videos. So.
Strange.
It's worth it.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, his real album, he's got pipes, dude. It's real Frank Sinatra, kind of like Vegas music, but it's still. That's boss.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could sing like that. I'd fucking every day, dude.
Like
I'd start wearing fucking Manhattan suits like every day. Just start singing on the corner.
Well, the other one that we found was that John Benjamin that does the voice for Bob's Burgers and Archer.
Yeah, the fake.
Like the thought that
piano.
He had to do that is phenomenal. Like
so set it up a little bit.
So the album is it's called Jazz Daredevil, and he cannot play the piano whatsoever. So the first track on the album is him calling and trying to sell his soul to the devil to get the special skills to play the piano. And he's got he's never played when he was a kid, nothing like that. And the devil's like, why don't we go with something a little different? Like, can we go with like Shakespearean acting or something like that? And he's like, no, I really want to play the piano. Like, I think that would be good. And so like he doesn't go through with it. So like the first track is like
it's like
Can't Play the Piano Part 1. There's 3 parts to this song on there.
Well, and it's like experimental jazz or whatever, impromptu jazz or whatever they call it. So essentially there's professional musicians that are playing like the bass and the guitar or whatever, the drums, all those parts, the saxophone, and then for the like impromptu breaks where the piano comes in and does some like riff little solo thing over the top.
He tries so hard and it sounds like
it's as if he's like underwater, or as if like somebody that like used to play the piano like beautifully had somehow ended up in a wheelchair with like the crampy T-Rex arms. So they still kind of knew where to put their little crampy T-Rex arms, but they couldn't quite like make it work. Like
I just see the butler from Scary Movie 2.
Like
he's got the one hand that's really good and the other one just doesn't quite keep up with it.
One at a time.
And just ruins it.
Yeah. Yeah, but with his little... Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And so between each break, it's this like beautiful like setup for that kind of music, and then it like to the acapella so he can play over or whatever with the... It's just like...
His rendition of the Halloween theme song.
So yeah, folks, you gotta check it out because it's
weird things you find on the internet.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to find on the internet. Plus, it's just you'll laugh when you listen.
Another
to it.
fantastic thing that has struck the nation by storm is Twisted Tea.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know what like the first 5 memes somebody was sending me, because it was like Batman from like Dark Knight like holding a Twisted Tea, and like the Joker, like I don't know how they did it, but they made him look dead instead of just like arrested or whatever. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, and then you sent me something that had like a guy with like a Twisted Tea.
It was Inglourious Bastards. It was Inglourious Bastards.
On the bat or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
he's sitting there getting ready to bash the Nazis' head.
Well, and then I saw another one, and it was when that protester wouldn't get out of the way of the semi truck, and he fucking blashes her. So it was like her standing there just before the semi hits her, and there's a big Twisted Tea on the front of the semi, and so it just takes this fucking protester out. That was my favorite one. But yeah, dude, that video. Well, and that white dude,
he had it coming.
He was like
legit had
my
it
size, fucking with like a college football player sized black dude, and I could not. This is the part of the podcast. Remember how you told me I couldn't say certain words on the podcast ever? I'm still not gonna. But folks, this guy said the N-word at a black guy like what? Like 6 times?
6 or 7 times.
Like uber aggressively, not just like hillbilly like you maybe would expect. Like if I was a black dude, lived in the South or wherever in a metropolitan city, and somebody called you something, whatever. Oh, the dumb that person, whatever. That would roll off your back all the time.
Yeah.
But he was like in his neighborhood, spouting like. How do I say it without sounding racist? So he's a white guy and he was talking like he was really black.
He was. Well, and that's I think so. I watched another show on
like is the perspective
Revolt.
of the camera just make him look white
so
and he's not, or
so what it is he lived in a predominantly black neighborhood, and when you have predominantly black friends, a lot of the time that group of people in that setting will almost give you permission to use that word.
Yeah,
where you're accepted. I had that at one point, and I've never done it since, and I felt, I don't want to say ashamed from it, but it was one of those things where I was like, I don't feel comfortable saying it.
Oh, fuck, I'd have been all over that, dude.
I guarantee you would. I know you would have.
Until they said don't.
Yeah. See, that's what the thing, you don't want to overuse it, because then you get it taken away.
I already had it taken away, Jim.
I know you have, but what I'm saying
the pipes out.
What I'm
not
saying
because I'm in a fan of the word.
No,
I just mean
I know
uncomfortable words like C word.
Well, yeah. Everybody loves to see you next Tuesday.
I said pussy at the fucking Walmart when we were there earlier, and I wasn't even thinking about it. Like, what was it that I said? Because you cracked up, but I was like, it was just like, oh, my pussy, or something like that. And you, like, I realized that the funny part wasn't that I said it, it was that I just said it around like 100 people, and I didn't even realize it until I'd already walked like 5 more feet. And I was like, oh, I just said pussy really loud in the store. Like, that's such a word anymore.
Yeah, well,
it ain't got stank on it.
Well, so okay,
I'm way over here. What's that, folks? I was fucking way out over there.
So, anyway. I showed you that trailer for the history of curse words.
Yes, I want to.
I watched that.
Is it good?
I watched the entire like 7 episode arc, and they're only like 20 minutes long, and they break down what the worst word is to like the least
worst word
curse word could be. So like the worst word was like fuck, obviously fuck.
Really?
Yeah, that was like the one word that's like it's so.
What?
Well, so now here's the thing. They were saying because it's so it puts a rating, like a hard rating on a movie, just like shit does. Like it puts anytime a shit is, I think, what was it? 2 shits and a fuck in a PG-13 movie make it an R. If you can get past the fuck, it just 2 shits is a PG-13. Was how they rolled it down.
So more than 2. Why are we paying these people to tell us how to do this?
It's the rating system that they've done.
Yeah, but like why?
But because everything that happened in the past, and they discussed that too with music where it first started, and even so like so.
You mean like censoring music?
Yeah, censoring music, censoring movies, stuff like that. So when Gone with the Wind first came out, that final line in the movie, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," almost never was.
Really?
Yeah, they they talk about like back then. There were certain things you couldn't say in movies. You couldn't say Christ, Jesus Christ, damn, goddamn.
Why can't you say Jesus Christ?
It was something that they had set up in those movies. Like you couldn't praise a bad guy like a criminal in any of those sorts of movies back then.
Oh,
and it was like a Hayes. I think they called it the Hayes rating or something like that. And it was a guy named Hayes. His last name was Hayes. And he had set all these things to censor the movies. And the guy that was directing the movie, Gone with the Wind, went to him and they said he either got him to change his mind or he paid him off to let him put that word at the end of the movie. And then they changed the rule to where those words could be used in a historical or artistic way.
Well, fuck, it's art, dude.
That's the thing. So now, fuck, like they said, fuck, like we've said before when we had that conversation with McConnell, fuck is a word that can be used to describe good, bad, indifferent, sad. It's just an array of emotions, and that's what it's basically there for.
Well, I just mean in the gist of things, like it being the worst. I mean, like most famous makes sense.
Well, yeah.
So like, if we were talking about the worst, or like, I guess, we wouldn't say the worst porno, but, like, if you ask people the most famous porno, it's going to be Playboy, but the worst one's Hustler. Like, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like, there's always a, like, C-word seems to have way more stank. I've said fuck in front of everybody. I've said the C-word in front of a few people, and it always seems to upset them.
Oh, well, that's a guaranteed one.
So that makes it a worse word.
It does, but that wasn't in, like, that's not necessarily been used as a curse word. They didn't branch it in a curse word in that category. I gotcha. So I think the order was like fuck, shit. Shit was the second, and damn was the last. Dick and pussy were in there.
Really?
Yeah.
What about like cocksucker?
Well, that's another phrase of like dick.
Oh, they went into like all the different words. Because that one's got some stank on it too. That's like 50s tattoo of an anchor on your arm.
Yeah.
Like old guys.
And they talk
say
about like,
cocksucker.
and that's the thing. So they go from like, fuck the fornication under consent of the king.
Yeah.
So they go through that. Then they go through like, it actually turned into like other bits and pieces of language. And then like the same with shit. Like he starts that episode off with sugar honey iced tea.
Yeah.
And that's how they break down shit. Sugar honey iced tea. And that's so then it goes through like became when it first started off like pooping was so widely viewed in history by like you didn't have.
Can I interrupt?
Go for it.
So shit from the best of my knowledge comes from ship high in transit. Because manure used to be transported on wooden ships, and they realized that if it was put in the bottom of the ship, that it would heat up like fertilizer does, and it would actually catch ships on fire. So, to the best of my knowledge, shit stands for ship high in transit, because manure always had to be on the top deck of a boat.
We'll have to watch that one after we're done with this, because I don't honestly remember. But I know that, so they talk about, like, part of it was that, I think that, but then it also went to, like, is in, like, the Greek days, you didn't have your own personal bathroom. It was all wide open. Everything was open. And as time went on, it became more discreet, more centralized, and less looked at and frowned upon if you brought it out into public.
Yeah, shit. In like, where is it? Like, I want to say China or Taiwan. I'm not picking on any specific one. It's like an Asian country where they just like shit in the street.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty like I know that that's common in like third world countries and like wherever people are just disheveled or whatever, but like this was like a like I remember the picture I saw was a guy like it was like a thing like a bench with a hole in it essentially in the middle of a park, looked like just as modern as our park, grass, benches, trees, buildings, you know what I mean, like it looked like if you just pooped across from the high school in the park, and there was all these people around him, and I'm like, that's a weird
that's kind of a weird little spot to do that in.
I mean, there were no walls, it was like literally if you went around the backside of the guy, you could just watch him poop. Which, that's a weird view that nobody ever actually gets in America. Like, how often do you see somebody else pooping from behind? Not very often.
That's true.
Because camping, you come at them from the front. Everybody knows where the communal poop spot is when you're camping, right? So you're going to come up the trail to that spot. You're facing each other usually. So all you get's the giblets and the kneecaps. There's shit bouncing around sometimes in my head.
Oh, yeah, that's totally understandable.
I wonder what that's about.
Understandable. Slide back in here, sir.
No, I'm going to hang out over here.
Like that, are you?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hi. I'm back.
Hello, guys.
So fucking what else is going on?
I mean, so I had a thought that it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's kind of a...
Is it profound?
I like to think it is, but I'm not 100%. I'm sure you're going to shoot it down when I say that it could be profound. We are connoisseurs of collecting stuff.
Yes.
Like just random bits and pieces of our childhood, things that we've come into as time has gone on. Mm-hmm. What's one thing that you don't have a collection of, that you don't think there necessarily is a collection of, that would be interesting as a collection? Hush.
You hush.
Sorry,
I just wanted to be part of whatever was going on. I think my brain is so pre-trained to, like, this is a collectible because the flock has decided it's rare or valuable. Yeah. So then you are attracted typically to that. Like money, silver, gold, expensive toys, whatever it is. But like we were talking about the other day, I think I was talking to you about this. The personal trading card of yourself. So like, this sounds so weird, but so if you dated people,
yeah,
once you were like to date 3 or whatever, or like maybe, yeah, okay. So let me preface this a little bit. The trading card is you. It's like your dating call card. Like you know how like Sammy Sosa on the back of his, it's got him holding the bat, you know, and then on the back it's got his stats, like power and all his hits and home runs and bases loaded and most impressive game, whatever, that kind of thing, and like a little tidbit about where they're from. So if they did that with you, and they were like, and it's like James Maida, and you're like on the front, you know, like,
right,
you know, like, you know, gooning up for the camera or whatever, and on the back it's like, you know, like giant wide penis, like goes for hours, loves beaches, is a great cook, doesn't drive, whatever, like things you want to put on your card, right? And then that's what, you know, like, what's up? You're at the bar, you're like, you collect stuff, you know? And like, what if everybody culturally collected cards from other people to remind, like, if cell phones didn't exist, that would remind you of somebody that you forgot about like in the past. Well, or like
that would replace like
say on the third date you get the card from the other person. Like
you got to make it to the third date to get the card,
right? And then like because there'd be guys with boxes full of cards.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Like it's basically just like another notch in the belt system.
Yeah. That's what I was getting at. Yeah, you just have these
and then like your card evolves over time. So like your first one, like your rookie card, has got all your like
original stats. Like your premature ejaculator.
Yeah, those things.
Financially unsound.
Like background information.
Background, yeah.
And then like as you get to like the second and third round of cards, you've now got like
Jose Canseco just before the steroid scandal.
You've got like number of fights won, number of fights lost.
Oh yeah.
Like
hell yeah. But you know what you would also
not even like fisticuffs, like verbal fights with your significant other.
Yeah, yeah.
Like longest sex round, shortest sex round.
Oh god, those
like
are
little
drastically
different. Well,
things.
I mean, exactly. That's the thing. Like, and that's what somebody can look at and be like, okay, so if we average the middle of those two,
then we probably
we're
like
doing
what if
good.
It was a color indicator on your like. So here's your sexual desire 1 through 10, like with a red bar, and then like your financial security 1 through 10, red bar, whatever it is, all the way across, and then that's like if that part of the card was clear. And you just took it and lined it up with a girl's card, and then the bars would graph over, and it would show like how compatible you are. Damn, dude, I think we're onto something.
We might have to.
It's like
to patent these things.
What we're doing is analogizing. I just made up that word. We're analogizing Facebook because it's essentially like your profile in a who gives a fuck any other reason besides what you see on here. Like if it had all your goodies on there, like everything, like. Prefers when you sit on his face, you know, or what, like, you know, like that's like a little catchphrase, you know, let me clear your seat. But yeah, I think something like that, because I can't come up with like a toy line or something that I, like the only thing that I could think of, and these exist, like every time I've thought this, because I've actually had a very similar question like to this just with myself when I'm like, oh, I wonder if that's a toy.
Right.
And then you look it up and it's a really popular niche community of hundreds of these toys, and you're like, oh, well, that's not unique. Like, I looked up Seinfeld toys because I was like, I want some Seinfeld toys. Like, I didn't even know if they existed. I just thought they'd be funny to have, like, a little Kramer, you know, like something. And, there's hundreds of them. NECA makes them, and fucking Galoob or whatever the new company is now. Like, there's a bunch of them that make them. So.
Well, the crazy thing is Lego is getting into the game with, like, the sets. Yeah, so, like, you can get a set of the Seinfeld Lego set.
Oh, really?
You can do one with the friends, like the apartment.
Oh, okay.
You can do one with like the coffee shop.
See, that's confusing. Wordplay. It's a set, and it's a Lego set.
Like the set Lego set of the show.
Set of a
the
show
set.
No, I got it now. Yeah. But yeah, well, they've had like Star Wars and shit forever. Yeah. But like, what was it? The Back to the Future.
Oh yeah,
the DeLorean. You can get that as a Lego set. They've got. Everything. The Avenger fucking tower is like this tall, dude. And you can get that. That's super expensive, though. I looked at
the Harry Potter castle.
Yeah.
It's like $200 for...
Oh, that ain't even fucking nothing. Check this out. I was just looking at a Millennium Falcon Lego. $750, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's out there, dude. Some toys are fucking expensive. Like, I want to go... All the stuff I want to go back and have again, it's all ungodly expensive. Like, the Turtle Collection, those are like $10, $15 a piece.
Oh, yeah.
I scored a bunch of them for free, but like...
Like I said, when I was younger, I had 2 sets of them.
Right there. We did the math on that. It was like, what is it, $2,750
for
or something?
For the 4 turtles, Shredder and Splinter, I think.
Yeah. And you would have had double that. Well, you wouldn't have, because by the time you were 15, you'd have bought shoes or some cell phone thing, but...
Yeah, probably.
For sure. Oh, yeah. I'd be like, Jim, you got so much money, you could buy like a really sick car. And he'd be like,
I want 3 pairs of Jordans.
Shoes.
I want 3 pairs of Jordans.
I'm gonna get my Lamborghinis on.
Well, that's the other thing.
Would that be
like...
sick? Custom shoes that said Lamborghini on them, so that they're your Lamborghinis.
They're just bright yellow with the horse on the side.
Yeah, I was thinking
like a fat horse,
like a Ferrari. That's awesome. Porsche orange. I got my Porsche feet.
Well, that's so like shoes, like you just said. So, huge horror fan. They have different custom shoes out there that have come out for different horror movies.
Oh yeah.
Like there's a LeBron James, one of his I think it's like 13s or something that are like Friday the 13th, and it's an all white shoe, and then it's got like blood flecks just splattered all over.
Right.
There's a Reebok that came out like 2 years ago. That's a Predator edition, where the bottom is like a clear gel see-through, so it's almost like when he goes invisible. Mm-hmm. And then it's got like the shoe itself is white, and then like from the edge where the lace is cut through, and the tongue is like a forest jungle green with like the little yellow symbols that they have on their wristwatch.
Yeah, yeah.
All printed throughout in it, and then like the little keychain that hangs off the side is the skull and the spine.
Oh, sick! Right.
Yeah.
On. Nice. Yeah, I never really got too into the shoes. I thought I was gonna, because I got like these things, and I was like, dude, those are sick, like 96 Air Maxes or whatever with the neon green. And then they were the only pair of shoes I ever bought that were like specifically to be cool or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. These chairs are just a rolly-abouty. Every time I start to get in, I'm like,
that rug's gonna have to come into play, I think, next time.
Anyhow, we can see our sign. You see that? Fancy Tickles Slut. I don't know why I put that on there. I just seen the dollar sign and I was like, that's how you spell slut.
It works for me.
With dollar signs.
Big bling bling sluts.
You
know.
You know what's probably disappointing about any kind of woman like that? Like, where they're just, like, overly, like, a caricature of something. So, like, most of the time when you see the sexy shoulders and the, like, pretty cheeks and the whatever, as soon as you see them in person, they look like aliens. Because they're too much that in person. Like, it's over the top. Kind of like back in the day, like male actors had to be this over the top. Like, they were all 50 because that's when they got, like, defined lines and lines through crow's feet and the shit. Fucking cheekbones. And they got the, you know what I mean? Like a Humphrey Bogart, kind of dude. Wasn't big till he was, what, like 45?
Something like that, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all those guys that were leading and, like, I'll take you, young lady. And she's, like, 19 in the film or whatever. And they're like, it's alright, it's the 50s.
Right.
But, you busy, bro?
No, I was just actually going to try to make sure my alarms weren't going off anytime soon.
Oh, let's see what you're doing over there.
Time.
No, go ahead.
No, we're good.
Go ahead.
No, we're good.
She looked cute.
I don't even know who she was.
What was it?
It was Instagram that popped up.
Oh, lame.
When I was in there handling business.
I thought it was what's the swipey, lefty, righty?
Tinder. Plenty of fish. Well, both of them, you do the swipey,
they got a swipey?
Yeah.
Remember that time at the bowling alley that I took your phone and I did the swipey for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, you just right.
Because I've never been on it and I know swipe right. Just sort that shit out later.
Right means go.
Yeah, right means go. Means left. Opportunity. Because maybe like the picture they have, you're like, not my body type. Whatever. To each your own. There's lots of pretty ladies out there in different forms. But say that's not yours. But then you find out like that's like an 8-month-old picture, and now she's like super hot, or whatever. Not that she
this,
wasn't.
As I say, this says like she's
muscly,
alpha,
scary,
dog,
alpha gorilla. No, we talked about that earlier too. That'll turn an outie to an innie pretty quick when women look like gorillas.
Got that China complex.
I do, dude. I don't want no broad just beat me up. It's already like...
Yeah, no.
Like the other day, I can't remember. I was wrestling around, dicking around with somebody. Anyway, normally I toss people around when I'm wrestling. And it was like... I still was kind of tossing them around and just fucking with them. But I was like, I'm having to work way harder than I normally would have. Like when I was 25 years old, if I'd have went to start fucking wrestling with somebody, they're getting tossed. Now I'm like, shit's sore. I gotta poop. Quit it.
Just let me put it in you and we'll call it good.
I didn't even mean that. I don't wrestle girls. What's wrong with you?
Oh.
Yeah, this was like actual wrestling, bro.
Wrestling, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we were getting into like the proof with like the...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I am uncomfortable, I'm getting to where I'm uncomfortable with other guys wrestling at me.
Oh, gotcha, okay.
I definitely don't want some China fucking muscly bitch taking me out.
You were going into like you were wrestling around with a girl and you had to like extra work for that.
No wrestling. You just gotta treat them like delicate flowers.
Well, you do, but there's ways that they enjoy the tickle fights and whatnot, and that can get...
Dude, that's so weird. I've only ever done that like twice in my life, and it's not my bag. I don't know why. Like, if the kids are playing or whatever, but like, whatever. Like, I laugh when I'm tickled, so I don't want to be tickled.
Or you get pissed when you get tickled?
I don't get pissed. I just get pissed after like, 3 or 4 seconds of it. Like, stop doing it. Or, no, it's not even that. It's just... like, say you're in a tickle fight with somebody that's not ticklish.
Yeah. And
you're ticklish. How do I win that game? That's like having a butterfly catching contest and only one of you gets the little Zelda thing.
A net?
Yeah, dude, that's how you win the end of the first level on Zelda. Because the guy shoots the magic at you and you spin with the fucking butterfly net and it shoots it back at the guy. That's how you beat that level.
Well, the fact that you just called it the Zelda thing instead of a butterfly net...
It was a throw out to people that play video games, bitch.
Bad. Whoa.
That's right. I went there on fucking camera.
Whoa.
Right. He liked it. You just got hard. That's the only reason you don't like it. Are we not allowed to talk about being hard and bitches?
No, we've done that all episode long. Are we kidding? Who are you kidding?
That's why I was confused. I'm like, you're like, whoa. It's like, Jesus. I didn't say the word he said not to say. I said, bitch.
You're putting a kibosh on this already? We haven't even said anything yet.
We can make this really gross.
Well, it's bound to happen one of these days, if it hasn't happened already.
Well, we were talking about collections. Mine's actually getting... I'm kind of proud. Like, this is my new stuff. Folks, if you're a wrestling fan, if you're a movie fan, if you're a fan of The Undertaker, which is most folks, look at this bad boy here. This is the Ghostbusters Edition Elite Series Undertaker with glow-in-the-dark ectoplasm body. And he has a big eagle with a neon green glow-in-the-dark belt. And that's just fucking bananas to me. So I had to get that. My new Amazon. It's the Amazon that gets me because I can just have whatever I want. And if I have the money for it, I'm like, I'm going to get that.
That's probably one of the main reasons why I don't have a bank account and a card. That would ruin me. All my money and bills. So much more
unique things.
True, like but my bills and shit would not be paid, is what I'm getting at.
Like this guy here. That's Pickle Rick. Oh, that's not coming through very good, is it? Oh, there we go.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, Pickle Rick in the Funko Pop vinyl. I thought that was pretty cool. It's got the battery laser. But yeah, I seen these a lot of times, and I thought, that's so dorky. Because I was only seeing the stuff at Walmart, the like 15 matching those things and stuff to series I've never seen before. Sorry, I had to. I'll sneak back in. I'll be involved. So, and then I realized, like when I went online and on Amazon specifically, it's so specific. Like you can get characters from The Office. You can get the Kool-Aid guy. What was the coolest one that I saw when it was just like oddball shit? Was like, I want to say it was like Toucan Sam. And they had the Lucky Charms guy, like everything. It was super...
Like it's anything that you can almost think of, they've done in a Funko Pop. And
I've also seen the only one that they didn't do that I wanted was Hunter S. Thompson from the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Like the Johnny Depp's character. I'm like, how come that's not a Funko Pop? If you happen to be one of the 25 people listening to this podcast right now, and you happen to work in China at Funko Pop, could you pretty please, sugar on top, make a Hunter S. Thompson from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas pop vinyl? That'd be fucking radical of you. And if you're not on this show, I mean, I'm sure one of you knows somebody that does that. It's
bound to happen.
Yeah, it's like Kismet or whatever. Wouldn't that be sweet if that was one of the things, like we talked about our Amazon slut list? You know, like chicks on OnlyFans that are like, oh, I want this lingerie. If you want to treat me, I'll send you a picture of me doing something terrible. Or and
we'll give you that view of us pooping from behind you never get.
Right. Like we have like an Amazon wish list, but it's just like toys and things like that. But yeah, that's what I want. I want a fucking... Can you guys make that happen? I just get all excited and start asking them questions on a pre-recorded podcast.
Can you buy us toys? Can you be Santa?
Make things happen up there?
Can you be my Santa Claus?
Anyway. So you just go into just a fucking 20 minutes of begging for things from people.
There's got, like, what's the one toy? I mean, obviously there's one toy out there that you want more than anything.
Oh boy. If I really wanted a toy that nobody would have, or that's fucking super unlikely, it's probably the LJN Hulk Hogan prototype. There's only one on eBay. It's been on there for like 8 years. Price has not changed. It's got one of the highest views of any item on eBay ever. Oh, yeah. Though. So anyway, that would be a neat one.
So there's that one that you want, like... For
something that exists.
But what's one that doesn't have to have a whole lot of value, price-wise, that would just be something specific for you?
Well, it's really funny. When I got my Bebop and my Rocksteady, that actually was a thing, because that was the Ninja Turtle that I hung up to the longest.
Yeah.
And it was like one of my oldest toys that I had. I think it outlasted my Wrestlers before... I think I was moving to Colorado or whatever before I got rid of that one. And I was like super bummed that I lost it because I didn't even get rid of it. I just lost it. It's probably in Jordan's shit somewhere or Jordan's mom's shit somewhere. Like it's somewhere.
Right.
But anyway, I really always wanted that back because I can remember so many times as like a little kid because I got him pretty young too, I think. I just don't know. I don't remember like the Christmas I got him or anything. I probably got him young. Like... I think people used to buy children, like, oh, you have kids, we're friends, so I'll buy your kids toys. But, like, the thought wasn't, like, your kids too.
Right.
So they'd get you a Ninja Turtle with, like, all these small parts you could choke on and everything. So I can remember holding, like, a big Ninja Turtle, but I know it was that. So I must have been pretty little.
Yeah.
And just, like, that one was a cool one for me. I really want to get the orange pant variant Scotty 2 Hottie. From Jack's Pacific, that had been like a 2002, 2003.
I'm surprised you haven't looked that up and tried to find it.
I have found the yellow pants version, but I don't want that one. I want the orange one that's like $500.
Gotcha.
That's the problem. All these weird things from my childhood that I could retire on now.
Well, like the one for me, like I showed you the picture of the Sting, the old Galoob Sting that I had. I would love to have that one back. I had a handful of those guys. So I had a Sting, I had a Luger, I had a Ron Simmons before he was Farouk, I had Brian Pillman when he was in WCW.
And they had those in Galoobs?
They were the hard plastic that didn't bend. They were just the solid flex.
I had a Hogan. I can remember, but it wasn't. It had to have been an LJN. Because, well, the thing with Hogan is he had so many offshoot companies that weren't Galoob or weren't LJN or weren't like those companies that made his shit. Yeah. And so if I remember right, it seemed like that Hogan was like this tall. And he was, really basic trunks, really basic shirt, really basic headbands. And if I remember right, I had chewed the fuck out of one of the feet. So and it was like rubbery. Like it was a rubber one kind of, I don't got nothing sitting around right here like that. But anyway, it's like like Stretch Armstrong. Kind of more like that. Like that. It would flex a little bit, but it was mainly just hard rubber that was seen painted or whatever.
See, and I think I had a Hogan and then LJN, and I had an Iron Sheik.
That's awesome.
But they were all so worn out, and like the paint was like coming off on their asses and shit like that or whatever. Where it was like that peach colored underneath,
Like, what if you had a magic box? And it was just, say, this big. right? So everything that you care about from your childhood, for the most part, is going to fit in that box. At least by itself once.
Yeah.
So say you look in the box and it's empty. There's nothing. And then you close the lid, open it back up. There's something inside, right? So if you did that and you're like, I want my Hulk Hogan from childhood. And it's like, actually, it's chewed on everything that I wanted. Would I maybe stop spending way too much money on collectibles? Like, I always have thought that maybe the reason I like collecting is because as a kid I had to get rid of my shit so many times. Like, where, like, I don't have any... I have, like, 1 or 2, maybe, childhood toys somewhere floating about in back. Like, I wonder if that's what starts that. Is, like, either you become a hoarder or you become a collector.
Well, so I think part of it is...
This is borderline for me.
Yeah, it's definitely borderline. Because, like I said, I've got a bunch of shit at my house, but none of it's hung up and organized like yours.
No, you're on the hoarding end.
Yeah, very much so. But once it gets taken care of and gets cleaned up, it's going to be... I won't have shelves like yours, per se, filled with, like, loose figures and stuff. Right. Because most of mine, everything's in box. It's still in package.
Smart man. That's what all them are there that nobody can see. But
well, it's like the ones that you got over here, all your just straight single figures. I could do that with all my single back cards.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which I've considered doing, but then at the same time, it's like, you're spending $10 on it already. Might as well just leave it in the package.
Why not just... Well, you could do the same thing and just leave them in the cards. Like, just have card edge to card edge and do it that way. Like anyway, sorry, folks. We were in the middle of a podcast and started talking about how we were going to design our fucking collectible collection.
Well, I mean, that's it's whatever tickles our fucking fancy.
I think we're losing them. I think we're losing them, Jim.
What else is going on in the world?
Nothing.
Let's see who.
Yeah, it's like we're just in.
Trying to think. Somebody else has died. I want to say somebody else has died.
Famous?
Yeah,
like right off the bat.
I think so, but I don't. Or like right at the end.
Brock,
who was it?
Brock
who was it? Who was it that almost made it to the end? We discussed it not too long ago. I want to say he was a rapper, but I'm not positive.
Ice-T.
No,
didn't fucking somebody have an aneurysm today?
Dr. Dre had an aneurysm.
Dr. Dre,
he was in the hospital. He's doing a lot better now, I guess.
From an aneurysm?
Yeah.
You like just do better?
Well, he's coherent and everything like that.
Oh,
like
right.
He's not like...
Right. That's what I was wondering. Like, well, my thing was like, okay, you can live through an aneurysm or whatever, but like sometimes like the brain shut off. You know what I mean? Is he going to be as hooky as he was before?
So the ironic thing about that was the day that it happened was also like so many years before that he'd released Beats, like the Beats headphones.
Oh, okay.
Like to the day.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe he traded his soul to make those terrible headphones.
Could have been.
Are they good now? Because when they first came out, they sucked.
So the ones I never had, like the big over-ear ones. I only had like the earbuds. But I think all the ones that I ever bought, and I paid like $25 for a pair, which when you bought them brand new from the store, they were like $125 to like $200.
Yeah.
They were like the flat band, like cord, and they sounded like garbage to me. Everybody else seemed to love them. They got like the good pair or something, but I got like the shit. I didn't like them.
It'd be funny if you went back and looked at the box and you just thought it said Beats, but it said like Boots or something. You're like the off-brand motherfucker.
Adidas.
Yeah, Adidas. That'd be so fucking awesome.
Nookies.
Okay, so there's something. What's the worst, like, those kind of shit that you've ever come across? Because now that I'm on Amazon, I see a lot of that kind of stuff.
Well, it's like Wish. That's what Wish is.
Oh,
it's like
is.
the knockoff.
It's I wish I had the real version of this. Here's a 3-cent version that will last a day.
Or like
Wish is terrible, dude.
Like there's... so that was the other great meme that I've seen today. So they've kind of reformed the Bullet Club in a couple of different things.
I saw that.
Did you see that? So there was like... Did you see the Wish meme for it? It was like what I ordered off Wish, and it's like
what I actually...
the New Japan Bullet Club, and it's got all those guys in it, like that are there now.
Yeah.
And then it's like what I got from Wish, and it's like Kenny Omega with the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks.
Right.
It's like, this is not what I wanted.
This isn't what I ordered.
Like,
what else is going on in wrestling? Is there anything good? Storylines have been dying like a motherfucker.
Well, that's the hard part now. Is like,
Snoop Dogg. He was on AEW. Yeah. Did him the world's worst frog splash.
Which is what's... they're guys that don't have a. It's funny to me because you'll see what. Now watch. So Sasha Banks is his niece. Okay, so he came out at WrestleMania one year and he remixed her intro and rapped on it. So her WrestleMania entrance, he rapped her to the ring.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so he did that.
So it's his niece?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Small world. Like,
right?
what? Like, obviously something clicked somewhere for somebody, but how do you have such a swing that your music empire makes it possible for your niece to get picked out to be a famous wrestler? That is crazy, dude. Yeah. That's some reach, dude. So, like, not to interrupt on that thought, but, like, anybody could be famous. Like, if you work hard enough, like, any regular guy that's halfway athletic, if he tried hard enough, could be in the UFC. I know that sounds crazy, but, like, the thing that makes the UFC great isn't that they are technically the greatest fighters. It's they have the closest level playing field. Like, they're really good about making sure the level field's pretty equal besides the champions and, like, the top 10 guys. Like, it's a drastic jump. It's the top 10 guys. But it doesn't mean it's the best 100 guys in the world.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, if you tried hard enough and got the shot, you could keep up competitively, maybe not with the media, not with a certain face, a certain whatever, but because somebody knows somebody, that's how they get into the UFC. Somebody knows somebody, Sasha Banks, gets into WWE.
Well, no, I'm not... That probably had a little bit to do with it, but I also don't think that a lot of those people use that. Some of them don't. I mean, they have to use that to an extent. Like, you've got some pull, you've got to know somebody here. You can at least get me a tryout.
Right.
And then from there, it's basically on me. And I would think that would be the only string that I would ever pull if I knew what I was doing. They did the same thing with Paige. Paige was huge over in the UK and Europe and everything like that. And I think it was The Rock that saw her wrestle somewhere over there and got her a tryout at WWE and brought her and her brother over. But it was just her that got signed. You know?
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, just the opportunity comes along and you're there. But, yeah, so he did that, but then he showed up on AEW last night. So it's a huge... It'll be interesting to see what and if WWE will go forward with any relationship with him.
Oh, right.
Because they've done that with a lot of people. So, like, I was even surprised that... So, DDP is not AEW. He's not WWE. He's got a Legends contract with WWE. But then he's also appeared on AEW as part of, like, the Nightmare family with Cody Rhodes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And where he'll train people and he'll be, like, one of his ring guests or whatever, you know, and stuff like that. But he doesn't have any affiliation with any specific thing. Like CM Punk. It would be interesting. I would love to see CM Punk show up on AEW. I think he would have the most impact there rather than going back to WWE.
Oh, because
there's a lot of guys he
it'd be a way
with and stuff.
Yeah, hasn't worked with him, and he could just finish out his career. I don't know if he's got the health to do it. Like he got.
Well, that's like Sting.
I don't want to say he got beat the fuck up. Well, yeah, Sting is finally starting to look old. Like every time he's made a comeback, every single time he's made a comeback, and I'm like, is this the time he's too old? And he hasn't been. He always comes out a little better. He always looks a little bigger, and you're like, God damn, dude, he always youngs up. And this is the time I was like, oh, he kind of looks old now.
Well, the hairline keeps getting further back.
Yeah.
Like, the paint line
and he's not so big no more.
Well, and he used to come out where he wouldn't wear the t-shirt. He'd come out in, like, the singlet type situation. I haven't seen him in that setup at all yet. Just been the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Not even fighting. Like, he doesn't...
Has he fought yet? Wrestled? Nothing?
He hasn't had a match in there once.
Weird.
Like, I don't know if he's working towards it or what the situation is, but he seems to have kind of aligned himself with Darby Allin, which is an interesting...
Well, that kind of makes sense, though.
Because Darby's always been the guy up in the rafters recently. He's got the TNT belt. He beat Brody Lee for it. Or no, he beat Cody for it. Cody beat Brody Lee for it.
Darby Allin's the TNT champ? Holy shit.
Yep. Kenny Omega's the AEW champ.
How did he pick it up?
Or he beat Moxley.
Holy shit. Was it an event or just
It was just a Wednesday night deal. They've been doing a lot of those lately. Like
I wonder
said,
if it's so
like,
Moxley can go and do some more wrestling overseas, because I saw him come back to AEW.
Yeah,
I
he
saw
was back
him.
there
He
last
did the
night.
fucking. I'm gonna walk like every part of the bleachers before I show up.
Right.
There's nobody there. Made no sense to me. I mean, I know he usually comes down through like the crowd sometimes or whatever.
Well,
but
the way they do it is so he'll come. They come out of the side door and then just straight down, and then they'll cut in through through the talent. But they've had somebody. There was a clip that I saw on Instagram where he's coming out of the door and a fan tries to like rush him, and as soon as he gets like from me to the basketball hoop over there, the security guard just tackles him, and Mox is like, "Fuck that guy!" It just keeps going to the ring. Like it was so Moxley in a heartbeat. He's like, "Fuck that guy!" And he just mobs on down to the ring. But like. Yeah, so New Japan just had their big Wrestle Kingdom program.
That's right.
We got to watch that at some point.
Yeah.
Pull that up on your phone or whatnot over here.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's just shut this bitch off and watch.
We've been going
wrestling
for a while. We've been going for a minute. So
have we? What do we got here? 400 hours? Oh no, that's what time it is.
Like it. Hour and 6 minutes, maybe.
Oh yeah, fuck. That's a podcast. Shit, we love it.
If you want to know anything more about wrestling, you got the internet. You got Google.
Yeah.
Look it up, kids.
Google wrestling. Google Simpsons doing their fucking weird thing with the guy with the hat. I'm sure. It's so funny how my perspective, people are probably like, if of the 25 people watching it, that 24 of them were just like, really? Is he like telling people to look up the thing everybody's seen 30 times today? But anyway, check it out if you haven't. That was super entertaining for me. And
they compared him to Dale Gribble too.
Oh, God, yeah. I saw that one too. So, I don't know if you have any ideas for us, because since it's back to the old gruesome twosomes, just you and me, we didn't really talk about it, other than Sean's giant jolly penis being stuck in his wheelbarrow carriage.
Yeah,
but no, we're here. We're here for the long haul. I think it'd be really cool is if we made it long enough that we're doing the podcast in our retirement homes.
If it doesn't last that long, we do a revival once we get to the...
We'd start doing Fancy Tickles again.
Fancy Tickles on tour.
Yeah, when we can just like boop, point at the air,
final
and now that's where the
tour.
camera is. Yeah, the Hell's Freezes over Eagles tour. That's right, we're back. We told you we'd never come back. Tour again, tour. Fuck yeah. Anyway, have fun, folks. Hopefully, I don't say this very often, but I really hope we can do the podcast next week. Because, 7 days in,
yeah,
we have Capitol stormed. Like, if they don't shut the fucking power off and keep these people from hootin'-nanny-ing, I'm hoping that the internet doesn't get shut off.
We'll get a generator.
Or something. Like, something fucky is going to happen where, we're going to have to bunker up and film off generators and shit, and they'll be, blowy uppy shit outside. It's going to be awesome.
It'll be a sight to see, guys.
It'll just be me and Ollie and all our friends all hunkered down welcome to Fancy Tickles, the bunker episode.
We gotta whisper, guys, because we don't know where they're at right now.
We don't know where we are, but we for some reason insist on filming a podcast. Everybody's like, be serious. Be like, I am serious.
I'm always serious.
Always serious. Anyway, we love you. Sleep well. Get a hold of us with any ideas for episodes or something you're like, hey man, what's that thing? I'll tell you about it next week. I think I'm back on the Facebook. Yeah, I'm back on the... Yeah.
Are you on Facebook or are you just using the Messenger?
I have it, but no, I got the Facebook back on there too. So people can message me or post to my wall or tell me I'm an asshole, whatever.
It's bound to happen one of these days.
I actually don't do any of those things. I'm not very social in that sense.
If you do that, he'll
just
probably
go to the
shut down.
Fancy Tickle. Yeah, I'll just fucking shut it off again. Fuck it. Yeah, we love you. What is this episode? What?
42?
43? 43.
Somewhere in there.
Episode 43. Hot fucking just...
We're 9 away from a full year's worth of tickles.
Yeah, 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
How did we fuck that up? Did we start we didn't start on the first?
Yeah, we didn't start on the first of the year. We started in March or something like that.
Son of a bitch. How's ABC gonna pick us up if we can't fall into broadcast seasons, bro?
We'll get picked up for the spring season, don't worry.
2 o'clock in the morning public access.
It happens.
Talk to you later.
Love you guys. Bye.